Hi, welcome back to my another video. Let's talk about right side 4-5 rook plus Anaguma castle. Usually, white wants to go for rapid attack. He usually plays go to 5-2 before a battle begins. But keeping the gold to the bottom rank is a good idea, especially against third file rook, because it prevents future rook promotion, right? And he needs to build Anaguma castle first, so he would play bishop to 3-3. Then black can take over the central rank, and bishop king to 2-2, and pawn to 5-6 is also important because the silver goes to the right rather than to 6-7. And early pawn push like that will be always a big concern for viewers, right? But that's okay because the bishop is now protected, so black can simply take the pawn. After the bishop trade, rook recaptures and silver advances, but this pawn drop is cool. If rook takes it, bishop drop to a2 is cool, right? But if it goes to the side, then the rook is going to be useless, so that's not gonna be good for white. So this pawn push is risky, and as a plan, he would go for Anaguma castle. Then silver to 5-7 is cool. King to 1-1. Then black can exchange pawns. Silver takes and rook takes. And what about pawn push to 6-5 now? Because the bishop is now loose, right? But then black calmly moves back to 7-6 with a rook. If he takes it, bishop recaptures. If silver advances to make a fork, bishop trade will be fine. And white cannot ignore this because it's a check. And after this, rook to a6 will be fine. He needs to protect the square, right? But then bishop drop to 5-5 will be strong. If bishop takes it, then silver recaptures. Even though white will be able to obtain the lance, that will still be fine. Like that. After the promotion, focal point pawn drop will be possible, and this is difficult for white to decide which square the rook goes to. For example, if he plays rook to 3-2, bishop drop to 6-4 is good, right? But if it goes to this square, it's going to be again, it's going to be useless. But if rook takes it again, bishop drop to a2 will be possible, and if silver takes it, bishop drop to 5-5 will be fine. Here, bishop drop to 7-7 would be better. If he takes it, then knight recaptures, right? And white simply loses one tempo. Even if he rejects the trade, this move will be cool. Now the rook is attacking the horse. Also, the bishop is looking at the square. If horse runs, then the black can save the knight. But in this case, white will be able to create the horse, so the first option will be better for black. Okay, now we are back to the mainstream right here. it's safe to go for castling, so he would play silver to 2-2. Then black prepares for bishop trade. After this, and rook to 7-6, pawn to 7-3, and this edge pawn push is also important. And bishop to 8-6, and it prevents the pawn push because this square is now unprotected. So he would play go to 5-2, then knight to 7-7, and after seeing this, bishop to 9-7 is a good idea. If white wants to complete the castle, then rook to 8-6 is cool. Rook to 8-2 is the only way to defend the square, but then pawn drop to 7-2 is possible thanks to the pawn exchange, and he can prevent pawn promotion next. Black will be able to promote the rook otherwise. So he would play something different like silver to 6-3 in order to defend. But then black developed the silver, applying pressure around the bishop. If he decides to defend the square by pawn to 2-4, then black can wait by pushing the pawn. This is going to be a good move, and he would push it back, because if he doesn't, future knight drop to 1-5 will be a great move for black, right? Then black can push the central pawn, blocking the bishop. If white fights back like that, black doesn't want to take it. Instead, he needs to push this pawn, because now this diagonal is open, and it's also possible for black to sacrifice the bishop, trading with the gold in the future. If white takes it, instead of recapturing it, the rook to 8-6 will be cool. If white plays silver to 7-5, then black can drop the pawn, and no matter what, how he reacts to this pawn drop, so black will be able to promote the rook. So instead of 7-4, 7-2 will be fine. But then black can threaten taking this pawn, even if he tries to defend. Black can offer a trade. If white accepts the trade, knight recapturing by the knight will be strong, right? And next, knight promotion to 5-3 is painful. And he would also play rook to a2, but then the rook is now pinned to the square with the rook, and again black can drop a pawn, threatening next pawn promotion. If white plays silver to 5-2, then again rook to 8-5 is cool, attacking the defenseless pawn, and black is in a better shape. If white takes the central pawn instead, silver, before that, this focal point pawn drop will be cool. If silver takes it, he's gonna lose the pawn, right? But if rook takes it, then silver advances, attacking the square. And if he repositioned his rook again, defending the square, then the black can attack the bishop. Bishop runs, silver to 4-5. Bishop runs again, and this pawn drop is cool, aiming for the next pawn to 6-4. For example, if he does something like this happen, if bishop silver runs, black will be able to create these strong attacking bases, right? If silver takes it, it's going to be cool, and basically this silver is going to be taken, so that's good for black. If white defends the square like this, his defense is gonna lose its balance, so it's still going to be good for black. Okay, all the way back to this position, it's also possible for white to play go to 3-2, but since this square is unprotected again, black can try to open up the diagonal by pawn to 6-5. White cannot simply take it, so white is a little bit in the trouble. And this type of sacrifice is possible. That's usually seen in double ranging Rook matches, but in this case it doesn't work either, because usually white ends up giving unnecessary materials to black like this, and black can simply recapture, right? And nothing serious happens, and black has more materials. Although the material balance is equal, black is better because in addition to the materials, white's offensive pieces are stacked, right? And black has more freedom, and so that's why this type of sacrifice can be overplayed. Alright, the lesson is over. Now you know how to deal with the right side 4th file rook in a slow game. This is still popular among amateur players, and remembering this basic structure alone will be a huge advantage for you. I hope it's been helpful, and as always, thanks for watching and see you all next time. Bye.